Hello, Dale King of PNAA here. Welcome to a special edition of PNAA's Factory Friday featuring CNC Machine Services. CNC is a Pacific Northwest manufacturing marketplace company, providing new machine tools, technical field service expertise, robotic automation solutions, consulting and replacement spare parts. CNC visited the Made in USA Kentucky factory headquarters of Mazak Machine Tools for their Discover 2021 event. They sat down with Mazak President Dan Yonka and took a tour of the nearly 1 million square foot iSmart factory where Mazak builds Mazaks. From Kentucky, they traveled just north of Detroit to visit the FANUC America headquarters to hear and see how robotic automation equipment is providing answers to the questions posed by most manufacturing operations. Finally, CNC and our former CEO, Brian Canfield, visited the Mitutoyo showroom in Renton, Washington to learn how important proper measurement tools affect the workflow of an operation. Thank you for joining PNAA and CNC today for the 2021 Aerospace Manufacturing Technology Roadshow Factory Friday.
Hi, I'm Lisa Childs of PNAA and welcome to the Aerospace Manufacturing Technology Roadshow edition of Factory Friday. This series brings together colleagues to build powerful business connections by offering a glimpse into the operations of local manufacturers and suppliers. This episode, we feature CNC Machine Services headquartered in Snohomish, Washington. We're here with Dina Harris, Vice President of CNC Machine Services. Dina, what are CNC's primary functions that support our aerospace cluster?
I am really fond of the phrase that we have that we live Pacific Northwest manufacturing just like our customers. We strive to keep them as competitive as possible. We do that through providing world-class equipment supported by CNC's unique manufacturing solutions while keeping downtime to a minimum. CNC Machine Services is the Washington and Oregon distributor for Mazak Machine Tools. We're the authorized systems integrator for FANUC Robotics. We're the premier Pacific Northwest Mitutoyo partner. We are built on a foundation of service. We have a fleet of service engineers with fully stocked trucks that are dispatched daily through Washington and Oregon. We have a team of applications engineers that are providing extensive research and development, and we house a multi-million-dollar replacement parts inventory operation. We are proud of what we do here at CNC. We live in front of, behind, and inside the machines, just like our customers do.
So Matt, tell us about CNC's history.
Our 33 years of machine tool service is the backbone of our relationship with our customers, and our staff has been instrumental at building those relationships. This is a demanding industry, and our customers have a lot on the line. Our team has earned their technical expertise by daily living in front of and inside of basically every brand and vintage of machine tool. Our customers trust our diagnostic skills, our resourceful part sourcing, and our know-how to keep their machines running at peak performance. That service-first mentality, mixed with the paramount products that our sales team offers, as well as the worldwide support that we are afforded as a representative of those brands, we're confident that we're a premier partner for Pacific Northwest manufacturing companies.
Jeff, having been part of the CNC service department for almost 30 years, with over 20 years as service manager, you must have an incredible insight on what makes the CNC service department so successful.
CNC Machine Services provides a wide array of services for our customers' needs, from more complicated laser calibration and ball bar tests to monthly and yearly preventative maintenance. Each of our techs are proficient in multiple areas of the machines. We provide the customer with the best tech that has the skill set needed to handle the service task in question. This makes for a done right the first time repair. CNC handles a wide variety of major repairs, spindle replacements, ball screw replacements, setup of machines, linear guide repairs, alignments. We offer 24/7, 365 support. Our owner, Mark Harris, is a service tech as well. We pride ourselves as being one of the most well-rounded and talented groups in the Washington, Oregon area.
Pete, your entire career has been in machine tool parts. You've been the parts manager at CNC for 17 years. Can you share with us what makes the CNC parts department unique?
Over the years, CNC has put together a vast inventory of spare parts. We've used history from our field service technicians out there working on many different brands of machine tools, and taking into account feedback from our customers, listening to their needs, all with the goal of minimizing downtime for our aerospace industry manufacturers. So we keep our shelves loaded with O-rings, bearings, seals, motors, valves, switches, and I could go on with all the different items we have here. If we don't have it, no worries. Mazak's Kentucky Parts Center maintains over 390 million in parts, over 500,000 unique different part numbers, and because of this investment, they achieve 97% same-day part shipping and even offer after-hour shipping options.
Welcome to Mazak North America headquarters for the Discover 2021 event. We're at the iSmart factory, joined by Dan Yaka. Yamazaki Mazak was established in 1919 in Japan and has since grown to be the global leader in machine tools. How many machine models does Mazak manufacture? How many factories are there across the world? And how do those factories work together to develop and distribute product?
The number of machine models that are manufactured on this northern Kentucky campus are approximately 100. Now, in terms of Mazak worldwide, well over 400 models. We serve just about every vertical manufacturing industry that makes stuff. It's fantastic the way that each of the regions of the world of the Yamazaki Mazak Corporation work together in terms of sharing engineering standards, control systems and software. But what's unique is product manufactured in North America is manufactured for the North American market. No different than in Europe and of course in Asia. Some of our most advanced multitasking platforms, such as the Variaxis, the Integrex, and our HCNs and Palatech systems are manufactured in Japan. We have 10 manufacturing facilities, iSmart factories, fully connected throughout the world.
We had a chance to tour the iSmart factory, marveling at the function and capabilities of Mazak's world-class production facility. Tell us about the history of this venue, as well as the manufacturing assembly areas, the parts, and the spindle department.
Sure. The factory itself is over 500,000 square feet, and certainly what you probably noticed is we're quite vertically integrated. What you see are Mazaks manufacturing Mazaks, and I mentioned earlier that we use our own stuff before we bring it to market, and that formula has served us exceptionally well. Our most recent significant investment, which we completed during COVID, was the Mazak SMS cell. This is a 6-machine palletized Palatech cell, but in addition, we have an additional palletized system that we call Mazak to manage and handle the raw material. So the raw material is brought in, staged in racks. It's then shuttled to pallet load unload stations. This system is unique, and it's the first of its kind in North America, I do believe, because it supports pallets that range from 600 millimeter up to 1,000 millimeter, and interchangeable with full 5-sided, 5-axis capability. Just about any casting we manufacture, we machine in this factory that's 1 meter cubed or less is going to run through that automated lights out cell. Every machine is equipped with spindle health monitoring, and AI technology, and it's that cell replaced a 15-year-old 8-machine cell, and will increase our output with 6 machines by 20 to 25% over the output of the older 8-machine cell.
Wow.
That's exciting. The spindle remanufacturing operation, we support every Mazak CNC machine that's been installed during our history here in North America. No other manufacturer, I believe, can claim that they have that support, the same support we do. And our commitment to the customer, quite frankly, is we don't expect them to have to go out and spend a significant amount of their working capital on spare parts. We do that for them. They can free that working capital up to invest in new capital equipment and expand their operation, rather than what I'll call unworking assets sitting on a shelf, collecting dust. Every order that comes in daily into our National Parts Center, 97 to 98% of those part requirements ship that same day. And it's no different with spindles. We are remanufacturing and supporting over 700 different spindle models and configurations that are supporting that history of the Mazak installed base over there, and that is a world-class operation, that we've invested in.
The Pacific Northwest is home to one of the most robust and dynamic aerospace clusters in the world. We're at the forefront of aerospace innovation, serving every segment from commercial and military jets to unmanned systems, space rockets, satellites, and electric propulsion. Mazak has received the prestigious Boeing Performance Excellence Award, and we also saw Mazak machines featured on a Blue Origin factory tour during the webcast of the New Shepard NS-14 launch.
That's pretty cool.
How does Mazak view the importance of helping the aerospace cluster stay as advanced and competitive as possible on the world stage?
One of our highest priorities to be well aligned, with space, defense, and commercial aircraft. Many of the technologies that evolve from the needs of that industry eventually work their way into other industries, but it clearly it's the front runner. I digress for a moment, but I did take the time out to watch the 2 launches of Blue Origin, and I got to tell you, it was it was entertaining. It was reality TV, but you couldn't help but be so proud, of American ingenuity, and what's happening. And in fact, there was a team of engineers that visited the event yesterday from Blue Origin, and we had an opportunity to spend some time together. And there's a reason they're partnered, with the Mazak Corporation and CNC machine, because we're able to work together to satisfy, their manufacturing needs and requirements.
It's been 2 years since the last Discover event. I'm sure you've spent some time in research and development. What are you most excited to premiere at Discover 2021?
Well, it's been 102 weeks to be exact, but we're not counting. What I'm most excited about here this week in front of well over 1,000 customers is the fact that we're doing our world premiere of our new Syncrex Swiss-style machining centers. The other thing I'm really excited about is our commitment to the job shop. In parallel to the tremendous development efforts of the Syncrex over the last 2 years, we also embarked on a journey to develop a whole new line of machining centers and turning centers that are really targeted and aimed specifically at the job shop, lowering that barrier to entry for premium high performance Mazak machine tools, but yet at a very affordable price point, and with feature capability that allows for integration of cobot, robotic technology and so forth. So those are just a couple of many.
In our Pacific Northwest manufacturing community, horizontal milling machines with Palletech systems are proving to be force multipliers for high volume production.
Right.
Integrex multitasking machines put both a turning lathe and milling capabilities inside of a single machine for done-in-one capabilities.
Right.
And even the affordable new EZ series can be tended to with robotic automation. With Mazak constantly innovating the manufacturing process throughout the years, automation has proven to be a key component of your mission. How has that challenge positively positioned Mazak in response to the current challenges American manufacturers are facing with supply chain and workforce issues?
In terms of automation, and you pointed it out, many of our done-in-one platforms, the automation is designed integral and inside the machine. With the ability to mill, turn, grind, and in fact, even with our new hybrid series, we're adding additional process capability. Robot integration is so much easier today. In fact, many customers are doing it themselves or with the many integrators that are out there, even with their existing equipment. And our keynote speaker on Monday was Mr. Mike Chico, president of FANUC. And it was interesting because he had, he showed one interesting data point. If you go back to 2017, 2018, our last manufacturing peak, in terms of capital investment, the U.S. was consuming maybe 32,000 robots a year. That number this year, year to date, is on track to push close to 40,000 robots in this recovery. So that just speaks to the many challenges that manufacturers are having out there today.
On behalf of PNAA and CNC Machine Services, thank you for your time today, Mr. Yanka.
With that, I thank you so much for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
And look forward to a great day.
Welcome to PNAA and CNC Machine Services Factory Fridays. Today we'll be visiting FANUC America's headquarters in Southeast Michigan. FANUC America's go-to-market strategy for our non-automotive customers has since 1996 relied on our authorized system integrators like CNC Machine Services. It's a network of relationships several hundred strong that helps us meet the diverse needs of the non-automotive space. Anything from cookies to agriculture to aerospace to furniture to appliances, you name it. We can't be all things to all those customers. So we're proud to be part of our authorized system integrator network and have all those relationships that help us address the needs of our mutual customers. There's a slide in our corporate presentation that shows a young man relaxing at home with his son, and all around them are the things that robotic automation has touched. A whole range of applications from assembly to painting, to welding, to machine tending, to just material handling, moving stuff around, packaging, food, pharmaceuticals, medical devices, you name it, there's probably a robot involved in something that you touched in your everyday life today. FANUC's manufacturing capacity for robots is concentrated in a beautiful natural setting and an incredible manufacturing complex at the foot of Mount Fuji in Japan. There we make all of our servo motors, our motion controllers, and our robots and robo machines in a highly automated, vertically integrated factory. Our motor factory, for example, starts with a big spool of copper wire, and we make everything else. And the benefit to our customers is that we're able to be very responsive to their needs, deliver products that address the applications they want us to solve, and also control our quality, deliver extremely high reliability, and also have control over obsolescence or sunsetting of our products so that we can deliver on our promise of lifetime support for FANUC products. To understand the history of our robotic technology, you really have to go all the way back to the 1950s when FANUC was a subsidiary of Fujitsu and we developed the first NC motion controller. Then the first industrial robots were introduced in the 1970s, and now fast forward to 2021 and we have more than 750,000 cumulative robot shipments around the world. Our yellow robots have evolved over several decades of refinement and performance enhancement, but more recently, there's been an exciting new area of robotics that we call collaborative robots, where the robot is meant to operate in close proximity to a human. And it's a different challenge than extracting the highest performance from a robot within a guarded setting. Now, we want to ensure the safety of the personnel around the robots. And at FANUC, we differentiate those two types of robots really by kind of a color code. Our team color, as you may have guessed, is yellow, and our collaborative robots are generally either green or white with a green trim. In the aerospace industry, robotic automation plays a key role in the manufacture of both airframes but also propulsion systems. So there's quite a bit of robotic automation in the area of producing turbine blades, investment casting, finishing, all of those processes associated with making the propulsion systems. Machine tending is one of the most mature robot applications, and it's also one of the ones that delivers some of the highest gains to our customers. When you study the productivity of a machine tool or another piece of capital equipment, when it's tended manually, the productivity of that machine, measured by, for example, in the machine tool industry, by spindle utilization, can be down in the 50% or below. But with robotic automation tending that machine, that productivity can soar to north of 90%. And the benefits to the customer are extensive. They get higher productivity from their employees. They can be applied to higher knowledge tasks within the facility, but also that consistency of production we've seen makes a difference in the end user's ability to schedule their manufacturing and can make them capable of expanding their capacity and pursuing additional business, not by adding machines, but by making the machines that they have more productive. And we've seen that play out time and time again, where customers have experienced growth and added employees to cope with that growth because they pursued an automation strategy that got the most out of the assets they had on hand. There are some challenges that are inherent in a human operation. There are ergonomic issues, lifting, reaching, repetitive strain, things that can be pretty hard on a body over time. And a robot obviously can help solve those. But more recently, with the impact of COVID and other issues that are surfacing in terms of the aging workforce, it's become less about return on investment and whether the economics of automation investment will pay off. And it's become more a question of, are we going to be able to make our production goals today? Because it's becoming increasingly difficult for our customers to acquire and train the staff that they need to sustain their manufacturing operations or their logistics operations. So that's more of what we're seeing today, is not a question of how quickly does it pay back, but how quickly can we get this done so that we can sustain production. One of the important things that we do with our authorized system integrators is really try hard to provide an overall positive ownership experience for their FANUC product. And that really depends on an effective support strategy. That's a combination of training and spares and education and upskilling of employees, and also providing a pipeline of well-trained workers. And that's an important thing that we do by providing an extensive range of training opportunities, both for our integrators and for our end customers, to upskill their employees, be ready to embrace the automation, but also, again, help them develop the future pipeline of skilled workers through our CERT education program that we have several hundred locations where we're training the workers of the future to be able to embrace robotic automation. And that's the pipeline of talent that we're creating for our customers. Here in our Customer Technology Center, we call this our walking corporate presentation. It provides some background on our parent company, FANUC, as well as FANUC America here in North and South America, and then provides a whole range of live demonstrations of our technology, performing a variety of different customer applications in industry and logistics. Our M2000 robot is the most powerful electric robot in the world, with capacities up to 2,300 kilograms. Here we're showing off a little bit, flexing our muscles, moving a production Corvette, that's the whole car, complete with interior, engine, exhaust, everything. And that gives an idea of the capability of this product, and it's gotten applied in so many different industries. Part of our heritage here at FANUC America is that we've maintained expertise for hazardous painting environments since the origins of the company in 1982. And here we're manufacturing paint robots which will be delivered around the world to paint a variety of different customer products with the reliability of a FANUC and the safety of our intrinsically safe design. As part of our quality assurance for our painting robots, and this occurs at our factories in Japan as well, every robot goes through a 40+ hour runoff test so that we ensure that by the time we ship that product, it's burn in, so to speak, and the customer should enjoy extremely high reliability right out of the box. Here at FANUC America, we pride ourselves on our commitment of service for life to our customers. That commitment says that for as long as our customer wants to run their FANUC product, we will provide support in terms of spares, training, and technical support. This area is the nerve center for all of our customer service in the Americas. We have agents staffing phones, our 24/7, 365 hotline, and spare parts experts who can ensure that we were able to deliver what part the customer needs on the timetable that they need it.
Hello everyone, Brian Canfield at PNAA, and I'm excited to be here in Renton, Washington. We're at the facility of Mitutoyo, and I'm joined by Colin Walker. Colin, thanks for being here today.
Thank you. We love having you here in our wonderful facility.
Yep, I was really amazed walking in here and seeing all the equipment. It feels like a big toy box, really.
It really is. It's our 10,000 square foot showroom that we have maintained here for at least 5 years. And as you can see, we keep a sampling of quite a few good pieces of capital equipment here.
Yep. Well, if you've been in the aerospace industry for any length of time, Mitutoyo is a name that's been around. It's been a staple. On my way over, I was telling them that I actually have a pair of Mitutoyo calipers for my own personal use. I've had them for years. Can you tell us a little bit about where Mitutoyo came from and the history both in Japan as well as in the United States?
Sure. So Mitutoyo Japan was founded around 80 years ago. Started small with just hand tools and small equipment and has grown over the years. Founded Mitutoyo America a little over 50 years ago. And we have been building into larger capital equipment, things like CMMs, vision machines, all of that, supporting more industries as we grew.
Okay. Yeah, it's an impressive mix of product that you have here. Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of metrology in the aerospace industry and maybe even adjacent industries?
Sure, and we do see a lot of the same concerns in multiple industries. You know, we're seeing right now that aerospace is reflecting a lot of the same concerns of semiconductor and biomedical. But the big concern we're seeing is maintaining accuracy and maintaining the data as we go through this workflow, which starts at the metrology level. You know, we make something off of a machine. Well, did we make what we had on the printer in the model? And Mitutoyo is one of the first guards for capturing that data and translating it upstream.
So CNC Machine Services has been a PNAA member for a while. Can you tell us a little bit about your partnership with them?
Absolutely. CNC is our premier distributor in the Pacific Northwest, and we partner with them on everything from just general capital sales all the way to doing a recent robot integrated open house where we demonstrated the ability to integrate a FANUC robot directly onto a CNC machine, a CNC CMM. And we showed with that how simple it was to use the Mitutoyo pre-built interface as well as FANUCs to create a cohesive demo that worked very simply and in an automated fashion.
So Colin, there's a variety of different equipment from small hand tools all the way up to capital. Can you tell us a little bit about the differences and what that line looks like for you guys?
Sure. Most people in the manufacturing industry in any facet are familiar with our hand tools. Almost everybody has either a Mitutoyo micrometer or caliper in their toolbox somewhere. That same quality that made you pick that set of Mitutoyo calipers or micrometers for your toolbox is the same quality we carry over to our capital equipment. So if you're used to something reliable that's going to work every time you use it for 20, 30 years, that same thing goes into our CMMs, our vision machines, our form products that are clearly higher ticket items, not something you're just going to throw in a toolbox, but they're just as robust and they're just as well made as our hand tools.
Right. And like you mentioned, the shop floor mechanics, they've been using the micrometers, the calipers for years. What is the difference, or how does it translate from the shop floor when we're talking about the quality, the metrology measurement, to the top floor of the company?
Sure. So at the shop floor level, especially as you introduce things like our data management tools, our MeasureLink software, that allows even your shop floor operators to eliminate things like typos, missed data, things like that, so we can just incorporate that into the workflow. As you get into capital equipment, now we've got automation, so now your operators and your programmers are spending less time and able to work on more projects, which is better for throughput. And then the biggest bottom line all the way up to the top is getting good metrology means you catch mistakes earlier.
Right.
The earlier you catch a mistake in manufacturing, the less bad parts, the less waste, the less time used up improperly. So that's the biggest thing that will save anyone in the entire process more time, more energy, and more money, is just to have good metrology in place.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than being at the top of a company and you get a phone call from your biggest client and you find out you had a bad batch of parts escape for some reason.
And now we are also incorporating, in that front of the data management side, we are incorporating things like the buzzwords you hear a lot, QIF and MBD. So now we're helping you maintain your data as well. So when that bad, mistakes happen, bad parts happen, now you won't be going to a whole batch of parts. You'll know which part in that workflow was the problem.
So I've got to ask, of all the gear here, all this equipment, what is the coolest thing that Mitutoyo has right now that you think people would be excited about?
Honestly, our coolest thing is not so much a piece of hardware as a piece of software.
Okay.
What we have is a piece of software we call MyCap Planner, and what it actually does is it uses some AI tools allowing programmers to import a model and rapidly create programs without having to worry about the nuts and bolts of movements and clearances and is this going to make it around my part. It fully automates that process from a model, and it's a really powerful tool as not just for the automation but also for reducing execution time on your parts in an automated fashion.
And that's so important. You know, right now is we're in a very interesting space in the world, and there's this constant quest to find ways to make parts more efficiently, ultimately cheaper for the customer. It sounds like this is a tool that's going to help with that.
Absolutely. It reduces the amount of time from prototype stage, from receiving that printer model to actually being able to inspect it. It can actually reduce the time from taking hours or even days to develop a robust program to a mere couple of hours at most.
Okay, cool. All right, so we just came back from the PNAA Factory Friday Roadshow, and we got to see these work cells actually operating, where you have a Mazak machining center, you have a FANUC controller, Mitutoyo metrology unit. Can you tell us a little bit about the importance of what work cells are going to be like in the future and how they'll be integrated?
Absolutely, and integrating into a work cell is one of the critical reasons Mitutoyo has been focusing on things like shop floor CMMs. Our MyStar is the flagship right now that is built to be right next to your machine tool. So the robot can grab the part off that machine, stick it in the CMM, measure the part, and get feedback directly to the machine tool. At the end of the day, what it does is it reduces operator cost, it reduces part programming time, it reduces the amount of waste you get going from prototype to final product, and it reduces the amount of scrapped parts you're going to get because you're going to have live tracking of that tool wear from your metrology as you're making the parts, not at the end of a batch. So that's where we see the real power of the integration, is that these closed loop cells are going to make the entire process more efficient, and at the end of the day, that's what we all want.
So let me see if I've got this right for everyone. The CNC builds the part, an arm grabs the part, an arm takes it over, it's measured, it goes in a box or something, and then the AI is going to take some of that data and maybe even feed it back to the CNC?
Correct. That is the idea of the closed loop cell. There are a few different softwares that we partner with that allow us to take that as measured data and feed it back to your CNC machine, so that the CNC machine then knows, okay, well, tool 5 has worn a little bit, so I need to comp that. Or it can even know that it needs to notify an operator that, okay, tool 5 is worn out, we need to stop this cell so that that tool can be replaced.
And it sounds like the whole shop then is running more efficiently because you're not having parts on idle, you're not going to have walking time between people. It's done in one smooth operation, goes in a box, and it's ready to go.
Correct.
It sounds like it saves everything.
That's the entire goal, and it even saves, if you want to save fatigue and wear and tear on your employees as well. Now you're not dealing with someone standing there loading a machine, loading a box, loading a CMM, loading it back into the box, and then trying to ship it out.
Right.
Now we've got a robot taking that load away, and that person can now focus on better and more efficient tasks that they can be doing to help the business do better as well.
Right. So if somebody at PNAA was interested in learning more about Mitutoyo, they should contact CNC Machine Services, and the folks over there can tell them all about your product. Is that?
Absolutely, and you can also reach out to Mitutoyo directly through our website, mitutoyo.com. Anytime you reach out, again, if you are in the Pacific Northwest, it will probably be through our premier distributor, CNC Machine Services.
And this is an amazing facility you have. Is this open to the public? Can aerospace folks come down here and see what's here?
Absolutely. We are open to the public. We do request that you make an appointment ahead of time, so either reach out through the website or through CNC and schedule an appointment. Anytime anyone wants to come visit the facility, we are absolutely open.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time today.
Thank you.